So, something a little bit different today. As you can see, we're up on the beaches lake here at Lindome Lakes, targeting a bit of everything that swims. So, we're just going to be loose feeding maggots, fishing a short pole, and talk you through everything with regards to that. Obviously, it's a nice way to get a few bites at this time of year as it's still quite cool. So, first up, we'll run you through the rigs and the bait. Bait's dead simple, and how to set up and how to go about getting the most from your day catching these smaller fish, and hopefully an odd better one mixed in. So we'll flick round and have a quick run through the rigs and we'll go from there. So rig wise, nice and simple really. So we'll start at the top end. Elastic's a green bungee, which might sound a bit heavy for these smaller fish, but we're likely to hook an odd F1 and odd carp mixed in, and we go massive here in beaches up to mid doubles, so just gives me a bit of a chance if I hook one of them, and also it just lets me get on with the job. To do any good, say taking it back to a matching scenario, you're going to need 40, 50, 60 pound of these smaller fish. There's no use in having to net everything, it's just going to slow you down. So this lets me swing most of the fish I'm going to hook, unless it's obviously a carp or an F1. That's just in a double 2 kit, so what that allows me to do is it's going to start off nice and soft, power up quicker, allow me to swing them all here. I'm not going to be bending down to try and get to the fish or anything like that. So main line as normal on my commercial rigs, don't tie anything special for these. It's 015, 3 number 8 back shot just to stabilise everything as I'm laying my rig in. Flow is a 0.4 AS3, and that's just shotted with a bulk and 1 dropper. Nice and positive, especially for these eyes. I think you're better off going one extreme or the other, either really positive like this, nail it down and get on with the job, or like the other rig, what we're going to talk about now. Well, we'll finish this one first. So it's a bulk number 8s and then just 1 number 10 dropper. The bulk's probably 10-12 inches for the hook, 1 number 10 dropper down to a 4-inch hook length. Keep all that shot nice and close, your bite's going to register a lot quicker, and hopefully you're going to catch more as a result because it's all happening that little bit faster. The other rig, exactly the same in terms of the flow and so on, AS3, but this time it's 0.2, and all that is, it's just strung out number 11s all the way throughout the rig to a 4-inch hook length. Again, just keep that last shot nice and close to the hook, so I'm going to see my indications really well. As you can see, this one's set off the bottom, it's probably 10-12 inches off the deck, just meaning that if those eyed and little fish do come up off the bottom, I can still fish for them in this way. I don't feel there's any point having a rig any deeper than that, because by then you might as well fish on the deck. And as well, this just gives me a bit of scope. I don't mind fishing that little bit longer lash as well this time of year, especially with the water being quite clear. So that's rigs, nice and simple. I'm just going to fish a top kit in 3 sections, nice and close to myself. I think that's really important when you're fishing for lots of bites, lots of little fish. You can loose feed your bait and get on with the job. You're not having to shift miles of pole back. And especially when it's a numbers game such as this, for me that's always the best way to go about it. So bait wise, nothing complicated at all, just red maggots. There's an odd white one mixed in there, but just maggots. Probably 3 or 4 pints you'd want to do you for a session on this. So we'll spin you around, quickly talk about the setup in terms of the pole roller. I'll show you that and we'll go from there. So as you can see, pole roller wise, it's nice and high. So what this allows me to do, spin down. When I'm sat there fishing, the pole's straight onto my knees, there's no messing about. See there, I've got one coming back, nice high, I'm not bending down here trying to find a roller, it just keeps it nice and smooth. I don't even have to look for my roller, my pole just finds the roller. So when you're fishing for a lot of fish, especially these smaller ones, it just makes you that bit smoother, a bit more efficient. Pole sock on my front leg, I'm not having to twist and turn and try finding that either. Everything's to hand, it's nice and comfortable. Very important when you're fishing for so many little fish. So, start off on the bottom rig, nice positive rig, bulk and 1 dropper, size 16 up like we said. So all we do is put double maggot on. The beauty of maggots is they show you when your hook wants changing. If you feel that bait, pull on the bait, hook at all to swab you up. Good sign that your hook's gone blunt. So out to the spot, and because we've not fed it for a while, just going to lay the rig in. What that's going to do is allow the bait to fall nice and slowly and naturally to the fish. Good one then. Just as I've gone to seed, I'll lay that rig in again. Loose beeches maggots, and just hold on to that rig and let it fall nice and slowly. There we go. And that's the beauty of maggots, it's not always small fish. This feels like a nice F1. That's a great thing about these baits at this time of year. It's great to be non-selective and just target everything in your head. So you can see with fish like this why you don't want to go too undergunned on your elastic. Squeeze nice. So you can hold them up. 2.5 pound F1. Nicely in the top lip. As you can see, if we'd fished much lighter on that elastic, he'd probably just swam off and broke me. So we'll drop in again, see what we can do. So that hook's still nice and sharp. So lay rigging again. See, this one's a smaller fish, this is one of the eyes. But you still get a good 2 to 3 foot of elastic out. You can see you can just swing them to hand, be nice and steady with it. Bait's still alright, so you can just tip straight back out. See there, another nice fish, feels like another F1. See, rather than getting giddy and continually throwing the bait in, just give it time. We are still in February, you don't want to go too over the top with quantities of bait you're throwing in. There he is. Another nice F1. Just in corner of the mouth, so more than happy with that. That's another ride. Fantastic way of fishing this time of year, especially when 50, 60, 70 pounds likely to be of winning weight. Just helps you fill in them blank periods with them smaller fish. Destroyed, swap that. So as you can see, the fishing's quite good. So rather than just letting the rig in and letting it fall slowly, you often find you're wasting a lot of time like that. Unless you are catching through the water, then in that case the other rig can come into play a lot more. So sometimes, as you trip out, fold your rig over the bolt, hold it, let it all straighten up, see how much faster all that settles, and you can just drop the rig in and you're fishing straight away. And that's a better fish as well, look. It's helped get through them smaller fish a bit quicker. Nice F1. Squash dropped. Well, as you can see there, the way in which we've laid the rigging's made a big difference to the fish we've caught. We've laid the rig out the last two drops, caught a little eye, then bombed the rig down to the deck, that cast, and caught a bigger stamp F1. So it's something to bear in mind, especially if you do feel there is an odd better fish in your peg. Sometimes just getting the rig down, bypassing them smaller fish will help you to pick out them better ones. So I've been lazy then, I've just laid it out then rather than fold it in. So we'll see what happens and what we can. You can see there we bumped one, so that felt like an F1 though. So I'll lay him in. So as you can see, there's plenty of bites. It's just about being smooth and efficient with it, getting on with the job. Not a case of faffing around or doing anything silly, just being smooth and making the most of the fish. Then I've been lazy then and slipped it in rather than folded it over it, which did seem better that cast. Pricked him off the bottom, so that was definitely off bottom, so might just need to slow down a bit with that loose feed if I want to keep him down, or make the decision to carry on and target him off the bottom. one thing you do find though is you are going to have spells of missing bites, losing an odd fish. Just don't try to get too unsettled by it, just carry on. Trying to work out that best way to lay your rig in, what the best way to feed is, whether you feed before you hook the fish, after you hook one, depending how many fish are in the tank. One. There we go, that's a better fish, that feels like another F1. Lovely fishing. Another great big beeches F1. So rather than just sat here fishing, I'll have a little fish for a little while and we'll come back and have a look at what we caught, but hopefully you've got a few tips from that there, seeing how different ways of laying your rig in can make a difference, whether you're late fall on a slow gradual fall, or if you fold your rig over and bomb that bait down to the deck, sometimes if you're wanting to try avoid them littler fish. Just a couple of tips, a few things on rigs, elastics, and how to make the most of those smaller fish when they're there, being efficient, especially at this time of year when, say, you might catch a few carp early, a few late, you need to fill that middle period in between. So hope you've enjoyed it and picked up a bit, and I'll keep them coming for you. If you've any suggestions, let me know. And if you could like and subscribe to the channel as well, that'd really help me out. But yeah, other than that, stay safe, obviously with everything what's going on, and I'll see you all soon. Right, so as you can see, we've had a cracking few hours, targeted a bit of everything that swims on the maggots. The F1s have rocked up later on and bullied them silverfish out, and as you can see, we've had a cracking net. Loads of great big F1s on 10, loads of hide, so get out and give it a go for a lovely day's fishing, especially in these colder months. So I hope I'll see you soon.